Hello, everyone. This is Travis the Trader coming back to you live on Tuesday, October the 29th. One of the things that I may have overlooked when putting out some of my content to everybody has been ETFs. What exactly are they? What are some of the different kinds of ETFs that are in the marketplace today? I know I've mentioned it before in some of my prior presentations, but would like to just reiterate the point to everyone so that they can get that extra special way of understanding what an ETF is. An ETF, the acronym is stands for Exchange Traded Fund. And what that means is that look at it as a collection of assets that can be bought, they can be sold on a stock exchange like any individual stocks. Generally speaking, they're created by financial institutions that look to pool, right, put together all different kinds of assets. Assets could be something like stocks, could be bonds, it could even be commodities, right? It could be commodities in order to create that fund. And these ETFs, they can track a variety of things. They can track, for example, a specific index. I've spoken to you guys about this before. Maybe something like the S&P 500 index. It can track something like a sector, which I will get to actually, but it could be a healthcare sector. It could be, food and beverages, airline, a whole slew of things. It could be tracking a commodity, right? Something like wheat, which we've spoken about before, wheat futures, a wheat future ETF or a corn ETF, or maybe even some kind of an investment strategy. The other thing that's interesting about ETFs is that ETFs can be bought, sold, I guess you could even say traded throughout the entire trading day at the market price. Unlike, for example, like a mutual fund, where I believe it's only traded once a day. It's been such a long time, by the way, that I've done anything in mutual funds. I wouldn't even know. I believe it's traded once a day. And again, would love to get your comments on that as to how mutual funds may work, because they're still out there. There's still a pretty big market of mutual funds, but I think ETFs are gradually chipping away at the mutual fund sector. So one of the ETFs that I wanted to share with you today, one is called KRE. KRE is the regional bank, or it's like a mid-tier bank ETF. So it doesn't have the stocks, the companies like Citibank, Citigroup, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan. It has the mid-tier banks. Many of my viewers may not have heard about them before, but it could be something like M&Tbank, I think was one, Zions Bank. There's another one called Huntington, I believe, Huntington Bank Shares. Again, these are mid-tier banks. There's going to be quite a bit of turmoil, quite a bit of volatility in the upcoming months, next year or so, because a lot of these banks have a portfolio of commercial real estate loans that, for those of you who may have been reading about it, extend and pretend. Again, I can get into that in another segment. But again, it's something that I keep aware of. KRE, I don't know if you guys have been looking at it today, trades quite a bit, almost 5 million shares. And look at the IV on this thing, an 85.5. And again, very liquid. And I have to keep emphasizing just how important liquidity is. As you can see, there are a number of weekly options as well as monthly. So that tells me there's lots of volume, lots of liquidity. And generally in the past, I don't have a KRE position in my portfolio today, but I have traded, I have done either a naked put, I've done strangles in it. So something to keep in mind. The other one that I've traded quite a bit is XBI. XBI is the biotech ETF. It's one of the many, I think there are many biotech ETFs. I don't know all of them. And again, love to get your thoughts and comments as to what some of the ETFs, specifically biotech ETFs, that you might be trading. But I generally have been focused on XBI. Again, some of the holdings in there, oh gosh, United Therapeutics, I think it's UTHR, Moderna is one. What is it? Biogen, BIIB is another holding in this ETF. a lot of companies I'm not aware of. And again, for those of you who don't want to have, I'd say, a large concentration of risk by owning only one stock or two stocks, but by having a whole basket, can do quite well from having less risk as well as further diversifying one's portfolio. And again, I need to emphasize XBI. Um, again, just looking at this number of expiration dates, as you can see, they have the weeklies, they've got a number of monthlies. So there is activity, there is quite a bit of volume in the options. And last but not least, the other one I wanted to share with you that I've always been looking at, that I have traded in the past, I haven't really done anything with it in quite some time, but is XLU. XLU is the utility ETF. It has stocks like, oh gosh, Southern Company. I don't know if you guys have heard of some of these stocks. Southern Company, Sempra is another one. Duke Energy. I believe Next Era is also one of the holdings of XLU. It doesn't move a whole lot, but again, for those of you who might be just looking to put on a strangle, or it could be some other sort of defined risk, it generally, from my experience, it just generally trades within a very tight, normal range. And again, look at the liquidity on this. Has a number of weeklies, has a number of monthlies to go with it as well. And again, look at that IV rank, 76. I currently don't, as I said, don't have anything on an XLU, although I might do something as I get closer to the election date. Other than that, right now, those are the ones I wanted to share. There are many ETFs that are out there. There are a number of other ETFs that I have traded that I just haven't spoken about yet. But again, please look at my prior videos where I do talk about ETFs, obviously in the S&Ps and NASDAQ. You have the wheat futures, you have gold futures, silver futures. There's a lot. And again, all of them can really enhance one's portfolio, again, from a diversity perspective. For those of you that did find value, please, I would really look forward to you subscribing as well as providing a thumbs up, as well as any sort of comments that you may have. Let me know, what is it that you're trading? What is it that some of the ETFs that you guys are looking at, and would love to learn from you as well. Again, I look forward to seeing you at the next video.